The 100 Years' War by Hannah and Tilday.
War have ended. Since 1337, England and France have been at war. The disagreement began when King Edward of England thought he was the rightful king of France. Control of the wool trade and land caused many further disputes. All battles occurred on French territory. The French were led to victory following the leadership of a young teenage girl, Joan of Arc.
Joan of Arc believed she had a calling from God to help and lead the French army.
Born in 1412, she was nicknamed the Maid of Orleans.
Around ages 12 to 13, she began hearing voices she said were from God, though some doctors today may say she could have been diagnosed with schizophrenia.
Though she led the French, she was not active in combat.
A well-known historian scholar was interviewed saying that she was known for having a famously volatile temper.
After she led, she was murdered by being burned at the stake at 90 years old after being falsely accused of witchcraft.
She will soon be recognized as a saint and patron of France. After Joan of Arc, a feeling of nationalism erupted in France following their victory of the 100 Years' War, while the English suffered a period of turmoil. During the 116 years in battle, the military was greatly improved, not only in weapons, but in tactics that will help future militaries to come.
On October 25, 1415, in northern France, the England were commanded by King Henry V. He participated hand-to-hand in the battles. The English won. This marks the last big victory in a row for England. The French were crippled, and this started a new period in the war. Henry married the French king's daughter, and Henry's son, Henry VI, was made the heir of France.
An important battle of the 100 Years' War was the Siege of Orleans. Orleans, located on the Loire River, is in north-central France. The battle began October 12, 1428, and ended May 8, 1429. At 16 years old, Joan of Arc led the French army to one of their greatest victories, including her first military victory as leader. It increased the soldiers' morale and eventually led to the victory of the entire war. The Siege of Orleans is considered the turning point in the 100 Years' War.
The Battle of Poitiers occurred on September 19, 1356, near Poitiers. The eldest son of King Edward III, also known as the Black Prince, led his troops to central France. They made very little resistance and were able to burn down many towns. When they got to Loire River, they were not able to take the castle or burn down any towns due to heavy rainfall. This allowed John II, King of France, to attempt to catch Edward's army. He did not succeed with this. This was the second of 3 major victories for England.
The battle that is said to have been the final battle that claimed French victory is the Battle of Castillon, though there was never a peace treaty signed between France and England. Beginning on July 17, 1453 in Gascony, the end of the war left the French with nothing other than Calais and the Channel Islands, while France took possession of the rest of England, announcing the end of the 100 Years' War.